Hi, I'm Sam Davy from Park Social Soccer Co, a social enterprise based in Melbourne. I guess, well, for many years I've coached soccer and I've played soccer for a long time, so I'm interested in that as a sport. I really enjoy helping kids, and I've been interested in social business for a while, just learning more about social enterprise and how you can kind of find that grey area between commercial business and charity and what sort of sits in the middle. But the real spark was when I took my son to buy a soccer ball for his friend for his birthday, and he couldn't find one that he thought his friend would like because the balls didn't mean anything anymore. And that sparked something in my mind where I was like, well, when I was a kid, a soccer ball really meant something and it was really special to get a ball. And now my son has 10 soccer balls in his back garden and kind of doesn't really mean anything anymore. And I was like, well, wow, there's a lot of kids in this world that for them getting a new soccer ball would be like the same feeling as me getting a new soccer ball when I was a kid. So I was like, well, maybe there's an opportunity to A, give them a new soccer ball, and B, teach my son and sons and subsequently other kids that there is an imbalance of opportunity in the world and they can do something about it. There is just by simply choosing, one product over another, they can make a difference. I guess one of the main motivations was having control and being ultimately responsible for either the success or the failure of the business. I've worked for other people for over 20 years. I'd learned a lot, but I felt, I don't know, there was always a bit of a sort of a nagging question in the back of my mind of could I do it on my own, and I thought, well, now's probably the last time that I actually get to do it, so I thought I'll try now. I had a decent idea. I think when I first started, my first goal was just to make it 1 year and still be going. I think ultimately my main goal would be to donate or pass as many soccer balls as I can to as many kids as I can. I'd love to get to 1 million soccer balls. Would be a kind of a number that I guess is sort of in my head as to something that I'd love to do. And I think probably another sort of softer goal is just teaching my kids to be more entrepreneurial, so that they can actually see what it is that I do day to day. After 20 years of working for other people, they have really no idea what it is that I do. Now they know what I do. I sit at a kitchen table and I work on a business, and they can see how hard it is, and they can see, I guess, they can experience a little bit of the highs and lows of it, which I hope will teach them, about something that they may be able to, take into their careers or their lives. I guess I think the main characteristic that I have is I'm quite, in a skills perspective, I'm quite versatile. Like I know enough about lots of different facets of business to be able to do a lot of it myself without having to pay other people to do it, which I think when starting up a business is really useful. You don't have a lot of money and you kind of got to figure it out yourself and just kind of get in there and make it work. And I think that I have a lot of those skills. I'm not an expert in all other things, but I know enough to kind of know where they're valuable and where they're not. I think I am quite driven. When I put my mind to something and I really believe in it, I really kind of don't stop going after it. So I think that you really have to be driven, because there are days when it's like all going really bad and you like want to chuck it in, and then you just kind of then ride that wave, and then the next day it might be brilliant and you get a great phone call or an email from somebody, and it's all you're feeling really positive again. So I think that drive kind of carries you through the highs and the lows. I think I'm quite generous, and I think my generous nature over the years of kind of working with other people and kind of giving a lot of my time and stuff to people, I think ultimately I'm a kind of big believer in karma, and I think that kind of comes round, and I think the more you give, the more you kind of get, and I feel as though I'm feeling the benefits of some of that karma now, where people that have really stepped up and kind of helped me out, which I really appreciate. I think most of the research I did, well, first of all, how do you make a soccer ball? I didn't know. So it was figuring out how soccer balls are made, what makes a good soccer ball versus a bad soccer ball. So there was a lot of research into manufacturing, and finding a manufacturing partner that I could work with that was willing to work with a brand new company. I did a lot of testing with different sorts of design, looked at different colours, tested those with different people. I researched the price of the product, so where the product would be sold, how much would people pay for it, and then looked at how much I could make it for, and then tried to figure out how much money there is between how much you have to pay to get it made and how much someone's gonna pay for it. And that gives you an idea as to whether or not you can actually run a business with the money that's left in the middle. So you've got to pay for marketing, your wages, staff, all of that sort of stuff out of electrical bills, equipment. Everything has to come out of the difference between what you're paying for the product and what you're selling the product for. So there was a fair amount of research went into really kind of the price of the product, how to get the product made, the quality, and ultimately whether or not I thought people were going to want to buy it. I think all of my I've had a lot of assistance from lots of different people. I think mainly from friends, people that either I've worked with or people I'm friends with in kind of non-work life. But people have just been very supportive of the idea right from the beginning, which has made, well, I guess, in the beginning when you're sort of umming and ahhing about whether or not you can or should start something, and it feels kind of exciting but at the same time really scary. When you've got people that are saying, I think you should do it, I think it's really good, it'll be great, it will do, really good things, it's an amazing cause, all these sorts of things. It makes you kind of go, okay, I got to do this. I just got to do it. And then, as I said before, as you're going through the kind of the dark times or whatever, you've got people that you can kind of call on to kind of just get advice, or when you just don't know which way to go, whether it's which decision to make. There's generally somebody that is within your, I guess, your support network that will say something, and it might even be unrelated to the actual issue that you're mulling over in your mind. They might just say something about something else, and you're like, yeah, you know what, that's the kind of decision that you need to make, that's how you need to solve this problem. And I think surrounding myself with just great, smart, like-minded individuals, and kind of building your tribe, I think that's where most of my help has come from. And I don't think I would have, well, I know that I wouldn't have been able to have done it without the assistance of friends and family, and my kids and my wife, and yeah.